Hey guys, so we continue our countdown of the top 100 films, and here we are at number 50. What better way to start it than with the freaking Lost Boys? And you want to talk about performances, you want to talk about career-making performances. Kiefer Sutherland is David. That movie launched him. I don't want to talk about freaking Stand and Deliver. All I want to talk about is the Lost Boys and where his career went after that. To this day, people are just enamored by his performance in this movie, and he has recognized it himself. It's absolutely phenomenal. Gotta watch The Lost Boys. Fantastic horror film, possibly the best vampire film of all time. At number 49, let's stick with the vampires and go Interview with the Vampire. Also a fantastic cast. Tom Cruise is absolutely perfection in everything that he does, but he does not disappoint in Interview with the Vampire. You got a young Brad Pitt who is barely coming into his own, and besides, outside of Legends of the Fall, I think that Interview with the Vampire was the one that kind of launched him even more. You just can't, you can't deny him on that. But the standout of this movie is Kirsten Dunst. She is absolutely phenomenal, perfection, and I just can't believe the things that she did at 11 years old. Just amazing movie. Check out, and of course Antonio Banderas. He's perfect as a freaking vampire. Check out Interview with the Vampire at 49. At 48 is Midsommar. This is from the makers of Hereditary, but it's basically during the day, and for some reason or another, it's scarier because it happens during the day. It's all about this cult. Florence Pugh is freaking awesome in this movie. What happens to her boyfriend is not fair, but hey, he was tricked. It happens. It followed him too. He should have been abstinent. Get it? Forget it. All right. But check out Midsommar. Still a good movie at 48. 47, The Babadook. That's for you, Terrence. The kid in that movie is scarier than the Babadook himself. I'll just say that. I'll just say that. But it is a creepy movie. If you haven't seen it, check out The Babadook. At number 46 is Sinister. And that's exactly what this movie is. It is very sinister. Like what goes on in this movie and what Ethan Hawke goes through in this movie, as well as the ending, is disturbing as hell. Where the realism of The Strangers is pretty out there, the realism in this is even worse, especially when you're watching those film reels, those videotapes, film reels, whatever. Yeah, it's not for the weak-hearted, I'll just say that. But it is good enough for number 46. At number 45 is Insidious. This is also kind of like on that branch of James Wan's films. Back in the early 2000s. 2010 for this one, actually. It was a worthy entry. I really liked it. It wasn't necessarily The Conjuring, but it was pretty freaking close. And Patrick Wilson was in this too. I thought Insidious was great. This is probably the best one out of all the series. But that's the one that started it all in 2010 at 45. At 44 is The Witch, another cult-like movie of supernatural, paranormal, set in the early days. Not that big of a fan of this movie, but it did have some scenes that were pretty out there, and Anya Taylor-Joy is just she's gold in this movie. So check it out. The Witch at 44. At 43 is Ju-On. This is the original Japanese version of The Grudge, and I think that this movie is probably it's so original too. The whole plot of the movie is original. I like them both. I can't. There are some scenes in the American version that are freaking fantastic, and there's some scenes in this one. But if you ever get a chance, look at the special features in these things, because there are scenes that, like, short movies that they wrote or that they filmed for this, like inspired. Yeah, those are just as creepy. Check that one out. Check out Ju-On. But let's keep going. 42, The Ring. But it's Ringu. This is the one that inspired The Ring of 2002. This is also a Japanese version of the movie that inspired it. 1998. Again, good story. The investigative part of it, it captivates you, but the horror of it all, the supernatural element of it all is what really takes it to another level. Gotta check out Ringu. At 41 is A Train to Busan. This is an exciting freaking movie. I mean, it is such a freaking awesome movie, and it's you know, your nerves are pumping. You're pumping. You're getting all into it, you know, because the zombies are in there in the train, and it's zombies on a train, not snakes on a plane. It's freaking crazy, but it's really, really good. Very well shot. Check it out if you haven't seen it. At 41. 40 is Seven. Okay, now Seven is it technically a horror film? It's a horror film in the same sense that Silence of the Lambs is a horror film. So, but it's, you know, you get this investigative whole thing about it, like the Long Legs. Like recently we got Long Legs, where that one was still supernatural. This was more of around the Seven Deadly Sins, and you have, you know, we talked about groundbreaking for Brad Pitt, Legend of the Fall, Interview with the Vampire. You know, Seven probably took his career also to a whole other level, because his performance in this movie, alongside Morgan Freeman and Gwyneth Paltrow, it's perfection. And even though I know he's a freaking pariah, you cannot deny Kevin Spacey in this movie. He is absolutely phenomenal in Seven, and so good that he's basically uncredited in it. But it's a phenomenal movie, 1995 for its time. Even to this day, it's just amazing. At 40. 39, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I like this movie a lot, actually. And you know, you have a Donald Sutherland in there, and his that ending to this movie is just so creepy, and it's so good. Yeah, you just can't. It's pod people, basically. But yeah, check it out. At 39, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Number 38 is The Wolfman. Come on, it's Lon F. Chaney. Like, you know, we were talking about Creature of the Black Lagoon a few shows back, and this same thing applies. You know, The Wolfman. Man becomes a werewolf. You know, it's just, you just really did not see that, especially in 1941 when the movie came out. And Lon Chaney made that happen. Lon Chaney is on the freaking Mount Rushmore of horror. I don't care what anybody says. Lon Chaney, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, these guys deserve to be on that Mount Rushmore. They're the ones that really started it all. But hey, The Wolfman, check it out. At number 37 is Child's Play. You know, we talked about Dead Silence earlier, when you got dolls and you got the supernatural and voodoo and all that, like, you know, it's not an easy watch, right? Child's Play had all that, but it gave you a killer that was also extremely funny, and the personality of Chucky is what made that movie. I think part 2 is a little better, but Child's Play 1 is just phenomenal. You never saw anything like it. A doll with a sense of humor and that kind of thing. Like, I mean, it's original. It's fantastic. Child's Play at 37. At 36, this is probably one of the best remakes of all time. Actually, you're gonna have back-to-back right now, but this is definitely one of the best, and that's The Fly. Fly, 1986, one of the best body horror films of all time. Jeff Goldblum, to this day, will always be Seth Brundle to me, and his performance in this is just absolutely phenomenal. Him and Gina Davis's chemistry, along with John Getz, it's just, you know, you just don't see that too often, and they played it to perfection on that. The makeup effects by Craig Wass, I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Chris Wallace. Yeah, I think he did the makeup on that, and it's just phenomenal. Produced by Mel Brooks. Funny Man, Blazing Saddles, Mel Brooks, he produced that. Anyway, Fly at 36. At 35, let's keep up the trend there with remakes, and that's The Thing, 1982. The practical effects on this movie, because you really don't know what this alien is, but the shape-shifting, what it turns into is just absolutely, it's creepy as hell. But there are just so many sequences in this, especially the kills that happen on this, that you've just never seen before. And this is 1982 when this movie came out. Fantastic score. Kurt Russell, this has got to be probably Kurt Russell's top 5 film for sure. It's in the top 5 of Kurt Russell movies. It stands to this day. I just saw it last week. It's phenomenal. at 35. At 34, Suspiria. This is, I want to say this is another Argento film, but it's not as bad like it's Deep Red, but it's pretty out there. But Suspiria was remade recently, not nowhere near as good as the first one or as this original 1977 version, but still awesome movie. Whew. At number 33 is American Werewolf in London. I mean, come on, man. That is absolutely the greatest werewolf movie of all time and the best werewolf transformation scene ever. So much so that the Academy recognized it and gave Rick Baker an Oscar. American Werewolf in London. Funny as hell too. Griffin Dunn, gold in that movie. At 33. At 32, gotta go Hereditary. If anybody were ever to get an Oscar for horror, it's Toni Collette in Hereditary. Her performance in that movie is just absolutely phenomenal. You're never going to see anything really like that again. I honestly want to say that she set the tone for all horror movies after that really wanted to add more substance to the characters in horror. I want to say that she did it. She revolutionized the horror genre by her performance in Hereditary. That's just me. That was 32. At 31 is Candyman. Come on, man. Virginia Madsen, Tony Todd, iconic movie, and all of the racial undertones in this movie makes you really think. But it is such a freaking awesome movie, and the Legend of Bloody Mary just goes to a whole other level with Candyman. At number 31. At number 30 is 28 Days Later. When you're watching George Romero, Night of the Living Dead, and you see all these slow freaking zombies. Nah, 28 Days Later, these are rage virus zombies, and they are freaking crazy. And they are out there. They are hauling ass. They're running all over. It's just a crazy ass movie and very original. I thought it was freaking fantastic. So 28 is at 30. 29, Saw. Saw has to be one of the greatest endings of all time. I mean, that ending stands out so much that you cannot replicate it. It is so good, and the mystery of the entire thing to the twist ending is absolutely phenomenal. James Wan, I want to say that's his directorial debut in 2004. Great movie. At 29. 28 is Ring. The Ring. This is the remake of 2002. Absolutely phenomenal. Naomi Watts, amazing. 27, The Omen. This is another religious horror film. This is probably the second best religious horror film of all time. Really creepy as hell. Really brutal kills. At 27, 1976, The Omen. At 26, no, I was at 27. I'm sorry. At 26 is Poltergeist. Heather O'Rourke. Phenomenal. Give her the Oscar. She was amazing in that movie. But at the same time, the clown scared the crap out of me. I think the clown is probably the scariest thing in the entire movie. Poltergeist at 26. Woo! That rounds out that bracket. Let's go to the next bracket.